Eknath Shinde, who stretched the drama till the 11th hour over the Deputy Chief Minister post and whether he was willing to be sworn in today or not, has also been sworn in. Ajit Pawar took oath as the second Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw the pictures today, the optics were actually perfect. Perfect with a hum saath saath hai vibe. But the fact is that the war over who is number 2 in the Maharashtra government is out in the open. Is it going to be Ajit Pawar or is it going to be Eknath Shinde? Who's the first amongst equals? Now, all of this will depend on which portfolio, which ministries they get. Mr. Shinde, as you by now know, wants the meaty home ministry and urban development. The BJP is playing hardball. Devendra Fadnavis, who was the home minister of the state as the deputy chief minister, is unwilling to let go. Sources are saying that Shinde may even be denied urban development, which he had previously held. Mr. Pawar, on the other hand, has already been promised finance. Now, with the current status, Mr. Shinde, who till 24 hours ago was Maharashtra's deputy chief minister, actually Maharashtra's chief minister, will be reduced to number 3 in the government. From number 1 to number 3 is never a good feeling, which perhaps explains his grim expression in the swearing in today. For the Mahayuti then, ladies and gentlemen, the first biggest challenge will be to sort out the portfolio tussle. Mr. Shinde is meeting Amit Shah this evening. Reports coming in suggest that the cabinet expansion is on the 11th of December. Question is, will a sulking Shinde storm out of the government post that? Or does he have no choice but to go along with what big brother the BJP decides? My colleague Abhishek has been tracking developments in Mumbai since early morning today. Abhishek, we saw, a lot of journalists give a lot of importance to body language. And if we were to read the body language of Eknath Shinde, he looked fairly grim. While you have Mr. Fadnavis all smiling and, Mr. Pawar is looking as cool as he usually does, Mr. Shinde looked a bit grim. Can you tell me whether the meeting with Amit Shah has already begun and what is expected in this meeting? Because portfolio decisions will not be taken in one mere meeting. It seems that the BJP has already made up its mind about the home ministry.
See, definitely, body language speaks a lot. And yesterday also, or subsequently in the past 1 week, we have seen, from the press conference that Eknath Shinde has taken, where he said that I am, clearly pointed that he is not in the further race of the chief minister. But from that day itself, the body language of chief minister, ex-chief minister Eknath Shinde has been like that only. And today also we witnessed the same. And let me make you understand, Ajit Pawar had nothing to lose. He only gained. He became the deputy chief minister once again. He got what he wanted. And what we also believe from the sources that he is also looking forward to a cabinet berth in the center. That is something will be decided later. But as far as what Eknath Shinde has gained, Eknath Shinde has not gained anything because entire election was fought under his leadership. Then you get a massive mandate. Now you have been told you are not in the race. You accept that. Then you are bargaining for home ministry, which is the second most important position. But that too is being denied. Then you ask for speaker's position. That is also not into consideration. Then at the same time, urban development, which you were having when you were the chief minister, that is also a bone of contention. So definitely there is a question mark that what has Mr. Eknath Shinde gained out of this whole thing which is going on. So, and most importantly, only 3 people took oath today. After having such a huge mandate, you are not able to decide other ministers to take oath. 132, 57 and 41. You have the massive numbers, but
Correct.
Only 3. Chief Minister and 2 Deputy Chief Ministers. That's where we can understand there are no consensus yet on portfolios. Because we were getting to know from the sources if there would be decision till evening, at least seven each would have taken oath. But that couldn't, finalize or couldn't materialize. And right now also, we expect that, there will be a meeting late in the evening because before that, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde will be addressing media separately also. That's what we're coming to know. So after that only there will be a meeting with Amit Shah, and we will have to wait and watch out for how does this pans out, because what will be the role of Eknath Shinde, Mr. Eknath Shinde, who rebelled, who, took along the MLAs, who was the chief minister, and now he has accepted deputy chief minister post. How does this pans out in future? And lastly, to conclude, a massive
Okay.
big election of BMC is coming ahead, where Mr. Shinde cannot be ignored, that BJP clearly knows. So how it will be handled is something that we will have to wait and watch out for. Back to you.
Okay, Abhishek. Thank you very much for getting us that extensive report from Mumbai, where it seems the first big challenge for Devendra Fadnavis is already at his door. So that's the first thing he'll have to deal with. Thank you very much for joining us, Abhishek. My guest this evening, Ali Daruwala, spokesperson of the BJP, Advocate Susiben Shah, national spokesperson of the Shiv Sena of the Shinde faction. Thank you very much. Anish Gawande, national spokesperson of the NCP. Thank you very much. We also have Dr. Uday joining us this evening. Dr. Uday, good evening. Good to have you back on the show. Sujata ji, thank you very much, and thank you to all my guests who are joining me this evening. Who should I start with? Maybe I should start with Susiben Shah. We always tend to start with Susiben Shah in this entire last week, courtesy the fact that her boss is in a deep sulk. Susiben, why did Mr. Eknath Shinde not look very happy today when he came for his swearing in? He was, after all, becoming the deputy chief minister. खुश नहीं लगे लेकिन वो.
Not at all, not at all. Good evening to all, and good evening to my esteemed panelists and Dr. Nirgudkar. I always a fan of yours, and I always watch your shows. So it's a pleasure to be on panel with you, sir. Now, as far as our CM Eknath Rauji is concerned, CM, I mean common man. The chair must have changed. The position that he has held has changed. His popularity, his image, his reputation as a common man, hard-working common man in that parlance as CM has not changed. He always said on the third day, he said that I will abide by the decision of he calls PM Sir Chattan of NDA and here Mahayuti. Whatever he says, we have immense faith as Shiv Sainik, as a part of the NDA, an important part of the NDA, and a jod which is 30 years old, a Fevicol ka jod, na kabhi chutega, na kabhi tutega, that justice will be done to him. It cannot be forgotten that he still remains, is the most popular Maratha leader of Maharashtra. So therefore, be rest assured, we are not in a sulk. We are together for progress, prosperity, development of Maharashtra. Shreya, you can be rest assured.
Dr. Uday, Susiben here is telling me justice ultimately will be done, which means right now the Shinde faction feels that that justice has not been done and that he has not been announced as the Home Minister of the state.
When the entire swearing,
Let me stand corrected.
जरा समझाइए हमारे viewers को.
Just 1 minute. I'm not saying that the portfolio is yet to be decided. And in that parallels, I said that justice will be done.
Okay.
Let us not
I think when the swearing-in ceremony was done, actually in the background there was a song which was played, if you remember. That song was "Tum itna kyun muskura rahe ho, kya gam hai jisko chupa rahe ho." And that sorrow is not just about portfolio distribution, but something more than that, which is who is number 2, who is number 3. But I'm sure politics works on options. And there is hardly any option. There is no option with BJP but to be with them. And there is no option with Eknath Shinde and Ajit Dara to be with BJP. So better they work out their understanding. They know each other's usefulness and they are aware of their harmfulness also. They know of the challenges and they know how weak opposition could be. And in their entire life of 40 years each, they have never seen such weak opposition. Such dreamlike opportunity can never come again in their life. So better they sing a song, "Ye dosti hum nahi todenge, todenge dam magar, tera saath na chhodenge." Bas, आज रात ये गाना बिल्कुल आपको
नहीं,
सुनाई देगा।
साथ ओके, साथ तो ना छोड़े डॉक्टर उदय, but I want to ask you whether Mr. Devendra Fadnavis will be willing to let go of the home ministry for the sake of coalition dharma, because all indication is that he will not.
I don't think he will let this important portfolio go from his hand. So also Ajit Pawar will not allow finance to go out of his hand. Now, the other four important portfolios, which is agriculture, revenue, power, irrigation, and couple of others. I'm sure that will be a trade-off. So all that which is said, okay, we will review the performances. I was hearing to the CM's press conference, and they were talking of regional balance, balance of all the समाज के सभी वर्गों को न्याय मिलेगा, but more important is to trade the balance of power, that it should not tilt with one party more than the other. I'm sure that's the prime consideration at this point of time. But more important, I want to point out one Shreyaji, allow me 1 minute. Never it has happened. I have attended at least 7 to 8 swearing-in ceremonies as a reporter and editor. But I've never seen a boycott like this by opposition. This is not the culture like South and North in Maharashtra. There is always a cordial relations. At the outside, the house, in the house, they may fight with each other. But outside the house, when they go to the people, it's always united. I don't know, they can talk about EVM and everything else. But why? Why they boycott? That's not, I mean, that's the first point which Devendraji said, and I appreciate that. I will establish the political dialogue.
Okay. No, that's a fair point to make, and many observers have felt a bit odd about the fact that in Maharashtra, the opposition decided to boycott the oath-taking ceremony when you know, Devendra Fadnavis had afforded that courtesy when Mr. Thackeray was being sworn in. So at least there is, you know, you return the favor in a sense. You return that grace. Anyhow, it didn't happen. Ali Daruwala, are we then to understand that Mr. Eknath Shinde, who till 24 hours ago was the chief minister of Maharashtra, the #1 man, has now been relegated to #3? Because the BJP has its chief minister, the BJP has the most important home ministry, which makes it double #1. Then at #2, you have finance, which is Ajit Pawar. And therefore, therefore, whatever you give Mr. Eknath Shinde will never be good enough, and he'll constantly be in a sulk. Are we to understand that the BJP has decided that we can do without him in case he decides to go into a deeper, you know, deeper sulk and throw tantrums, public tantrums?
Yeah, answering your question, as for the number that you asked, 1, 2, and 3. Before I begin my debate, Shreya, I would like to thank the opposition, like the spokesperson from the Sharad Pawar faction and from the Congress faction, because I've been told for last 1 week, where I've been doing several debates, they are saying that such spokespersons are even refusing to come on channels for debate. They have lost so badly. But hats off to these two spokespersons who are there with us, A. And B, this narrative, Shreya, I do not know why they are running and why this chronology is coming, like most important post 1, 2, 3, who will be elevated. Definitely you need to run a show, you need to do the TRP, and you need to have something breaking. But the breaking, what you need to carry now is Eknath Shinde ji is the man of the match. We could perform, we could deliver, and we could bring our narrative to life. Is only and only because of the huge sacrifice Eknath Shinde ji did. If you see the body language, if tall people and the reporters need to understand body language, they need to drive home the point that Eknath Shinde ji was sitting on the right side of the Prime Minister, and though Devendra ji was the CM and Deputy CM Ajit ji was sitting on the left side. If that is not a good indication to you, what more do I explain to you? Eknath Shinde ji is the largest hearted human being. The aura he holds in Maharashtra, and the, like you said, the Lokpriyata, the acceptance he has in Maharashtra is undoubtedly untouchable about Eknath Shinde ji. And about talking about Ajit
Hmm.
Pawar, sir, the party who got one Lok Sabha seat has got such a huge number in the Vidhan Sabha. So you see everybody's strike race. We have outperformed everybody. As they are saying, that's Uday ji said, "क्या opposition ही नहीं है?" I would not be
No, you're
surprised if something is cooking up in Baramati and there could be like zero opposition. Like if some 20, 30 people would be sitting on the opposition, something can be
no.
cooking up,
I
and
mean, the opposition
that's why
doesn't
they
even
are
have
not
enough
there.
numbers to appoint a leader of opposition.
Exactly. They would
है ना?
say
तो
like
मिस्टर
we need
दारूवाला,
to
all that is fine.
perform.
लेकिन आप जो इतना all is well, we love each other वाला माहौल फैला रहे हैं मिस्टर दारूवाला, then how is it, despite such a fab mandate that the Mahayuti has got, fabulous mandate that the Mahayuti has got, 15 days after getting that mandate, the swearing in happens only today, and even today, only 3 gentlemen are sworn in. Cabinet का नामो निशान नहीं है. The fact is today there were 7
Yeah.
ministers from each party that were to be sworn in. That has not happened, and that has not happened for a reason, because there is no sehmati, as they say in Hindi.
That is
All
what
is
you are
not
trying
well,
to
Mr.
derive.
Daruwala. ये तो मत बोलिए
No,
all is well.
100% sure. That is what you would love to
अच्छा.
derive out of a situation. But I am time and again telling you, the parliament session
हाँ.
is on in Delhi. There are very,
हाँ.
very important subjects that need to be discussed. Bills need to be passed. This is the second of our priority. We have our winter session that's going to start. That's hardly on the 17th or the 15th. Before that, the ministry will be formed.
महाराष्ट्र
It
का काम
takes
महाराष्ट्र
time.
में
It
होगा
is
ना,
the
दिल्ली में
party.
क्यों होगा?
Exactly. I'm telling you, the parliament, Delhi has so many other important things in their plate. Ministry is going to be discussed. Amit Shah ji has stayed back in Bombay. By tomorrow, things will be sorted out. By Sunday, all this narratives or what
Okay.
that's in a ghai kis baat ki hai, I really fail to understand. By Sunday, everything will be
तो
straightened
ठीक
out.
है.
And from Monday, we will see the
सुजाता जी.
office rocking and rolling.
Okay, we'll see whether we'll see. Well, let's hope so. You know, you have a mandate, you should rock and roll. It's as simple as that. So, Jata ji, तो ये सब जो narrative है ये opposition का फैलाया हुआ है that all is not well. You want to
Exactly.
drive a wedge in the Mahayuti because you have flopped and failed so badly, and you have flopped and failed badly in Maharashtra. There's no doubt about it. But the BJP is saying, is Sara, you are trying to, you are trying to fish in troubled waters when the waters are not even troubled.
Shreya, the fact is that what we saw today is a clear indication of what Mr. Eknath Shinde is seeing ahead of him. And that is the complete decimation of his party. And I congratulate him for that. And I congratulate the Bharatiya Janata Party for being successful in their endeavor to finish off this particular faction of the regional party. Because when you break a party, well, you know, whether you win, lose, you take the brickbats and you take the bouquets. So I can understand what Mr. Shinde must be going through. As far as we are concerned, we have nothing to do with whatever Mr. BJP spokesperson has been saying. आज थोड़ी ज्यादा हो गई ना मिस्टर दारूवाला कि आप कह रहे हैं कि सब कुछ चंगा सी और कांग्रेस पार्टी के प्रवक्ता नहीं आ रहे. अरे you haven't seen them. The Congress party spokespersons are all over the place, and we've been making fun of you because you've taken 2 weeks for this oath ceremony, and we've seen that you've managed to have this massive function with so many dignitaries from across the country, and just 3 people taking oath. But as far as the BJP spokesperson is concerned, it's very important to understand what he said. He said, by tomorrow, everything will be sorted out. That means that there are huge problems in the Mahayuti today. So let's make no mistake that when you begin by destroying something, it will come back, and this is a circle which is going to come around, and they will face what they did. That's it. That's very, very simple, Shreya ji.
Okay.
Because if things are not sorted out even after 2 weeks, it clearly shows that the people of Maharashtra really need to worry now.
We'll see, Anish Gawande, but you know, Dr. Uday has brought in a point which I agree with.
Can I come in, please?
Fact is, there was a political border.
narration.
Acha, Susi Ben. Go
No,
ahead,
I
Susi
should be
Ben. Go
allowed
ahead.
to. I should be allowed to speak on this. I mean, sometimes I wonder this Vinash Agadi, are they spokesmen of themselves, or they are talking for
Seriously.
Mahayuti? I just don't understand. They seem to be knowing more of Mahayuti than their
Yeah,
own
exactly.
functioning. I mean, they have been decimated, vanquished. You focus on your agenda forward. You tell us what you are going to do for Maharashtra. As far as Shiv Sena is concerned, we are
You
Shiv
are in
Sena.
power
We are
now. What are you
we
going to
are the
do?
party
Look at
जिसके
what has
अंदर
happened to
ideology
Mr.
of
Eknath
Balazar
Shinde.
Thackeray
Worry
alive.
about your
And that is
leader.
the reason
Worry about
Maharashtra
your
has
party.
given a
That's
Sujata
what
tremendous
you
ji.
need to worry
Let
about.
Susi
You
Ben
are
finish.
relegated.
Sujata ji.
You said you
Sujata
can't
ji.
own the
Please
on
let
the
Susi Ben finish.
I take strong objection. I take
Arey, ruk
strong
jaiye.
objection.
Sujata ji, come on. Sujata ji, come on. Let
He
Susi Ben
sounded
finish.
part
She
of
didn't interrupt
Maharashtra.
you.
No, I cannot hear that Sujata ji, maybe she's appalled, so maybe from West Bengal. She's no part of Maharashtra. She has no understanding of Asmita of Maharashtra. You should have seen when the CM and the deputy CM took oath, there was thunderous applause. There was a huge ovation. And when she is sitting here dishing out judgments as to how Mahayutis function, let it be told that today I'm telling you on your show, 5 years it's going to be steady batting. We are going to be part of three titans are going to work together as Devendra Fadnavis says, a man with
Okay.
a lion heart, a magnanimous heart. He said that we three are a team. We are marching together. The name does not matter. Shreya, you will see that Eknath
Okay.
Rao ji, Devendra Fadnavis ji and Ajit Dada work together. So please don't allow them to spread such false
Okay.
narrative and false propaganda. We are
Nahi
firmly
bhai,
on the saddle and we'll
who
work
am I
together.
to allow or disallow? The
But
opposition
what
will have its own agenda. The
sometimes I
government will have
wonder,
its own agenda.
you see,
The BJP will have its own agenda, and the Congress will
Shreya,
have its own agenda.
sometimes
Who am
congratulating
I to allow
decimated
them to spread or not spread it,
but
Susi
Shreya,
Behan?
the point to say that
नहीं वो तो
Shiv
बिल्कुल
Sena
आपकी ठीक बात है कि अभी तो opposition
bogus.
is the one that should be in a sulk in Maharashtra. Anish Gawande
I
just
think
come in
you'll see
here
now.
before I
You
go
will
to
see
Doctor
now.
Uday. Anish
NCP
Gawande,
also will talk about
अरे सुसी
Mahayuti.
बहन रुक जाइए
NCP
अब
also
अनीश की
will talk
बारी
about
तो आप
Mahayuti.
लोग ना
अरे भैया आप
you
आपकी
don't
बात
let
करें.
poor Anish speak.
Absolutely not. Anish, talk
अरे
about
रुक जाइए
yourself.
ना अब अनीश को भी ले आते
But talk about NCP.
don't bully him on the show. I think
हमारी
Anish is being
हमारी
bullied
सिर्फ
on the show by Susi Behan.
हमारी सिर्फ 10 सीटें आई है तो हमें 10 सेकंड भी हमें सिर्फ 10 सीटें आई हैं तो हमें 10 सेकंड भी बोलने का मौका नहीं दे रहे हो,
अपने
ये
बारे में बोलो.
नाइंसाफी है.
अपने बारे में बोलो.
Anish bhai bolo.
ये नाइंसाफी
And before
है.
you bolo, I have a question for you. Anish bolo,
no,
lekin
no.
before you bolo, I have a question for you. And it's coming from what Dr.
Please go
Uday
ahead.
said. Dr. Uday is saying that, you know, Maharashtra has a certain political culture, which is not the culture of, say, a state like Uttar Pradesh, where I come from, but Maharashtra has a certain political culture where there are political courtesies that are extended to rivals as well, right? You fought an election, you lost it. There was a swearing-in ceremony. The opposition was sent an invite. Do you think it was graceful for the opposition not to show up?
Shreya, let's not talk about the political culture of Maharashtra given the last 11 months that we've been through, right? I think this has been an incredibly hotly contested election where that political culture has been frayed, possibly to a point of complete rupture. Now, every single party leader across party lines, and I speak at least for the NCP-SP, has congratulated Devendra Fadnavis ji, Eknath Shinde ji, and Ajit Pawar ji on their sort of taking oath as Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Ministers. The question of whether or not they should have been at the oath-taking ceremony, I think we're taking our role as opposition very seriously. We're going amongst the people, we're raising voices in Parliament, and you're going to see some time before the questions we've raised about the electoral processes, the questions we've raised about the ways in which this campaign was fought, are sort of considered and answers are received. But I agree with you. I think the gracefulness is to be extended. And to Ali ji, I'll remind him that we were batting till 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night, even on the day of the results, braving the mandate that we got that day and saying that we accept this verdict with grace, and we do. And we look forward to being a responsible opposition. And I think the only thing that I'm glad about today is that we now have someone to discuss and direct our complaints to. The final thing I'll say is, you said महाराष्ट्र के डिसीजन दिल्ली में कहाँ लिए जाते हैं, पर यही तो प्रॉब्लम है, आजकल महाराष्ट्र के डिसीजन सिर्फ दिल्ली में ही तो लिए जाते हैं.
Dr. Uday, would you want to come in here? Because, you know, it's all very well for the BJP spokesperson to come on the show and say there are many, many important things that the Home Minister of the country has to do, and therefore portfolios can wait as far as Maharashtra is concerned. If things were so hunky-dory between the alliance partners, shouldn't these decisions have happened right here in Mumbai, in Maharashtra itself, rather than take everything to Delhi? And if that is happening, is this Delhi and the High Command sending a message, not just to everyone, but even to Devendra Fadnavis? To say, ultimately, we are in charge.
This political culture is not just with BJP, but almost all the parties. Now, NCP doesn't have a headquarter in Delhi. They have a headquarter at Silver Oaks in Maharashtra, in Mumbai. So obviously, their decisions are taken over here. But be it Congress or any other party, when their headquarters are in Delhi, High Command used to, I can list out n number of Kendriya Nirikshak who used to come to decide who is going to be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. That's not a point. There is another point which I'm raising. And I must thank Congress spokesperson for their courage. They are still in the stage of denial. There are 28 states in the country, of which a national party like Congress is reduced to only 3 states, which is Himachal, Karnataka and Telangana on their own, and about 2 states, Tamil Nadu and Jharkhand, where they are in collaboration with other parties. They should get the house right rather than talking about other parties. I mean, it's a time to reorganize themselves, rejuvenate themselves, not talk about others. Let them get their own right so that they can be trusted as opposition. And one wonderful point which Anish has raised, and I must thank him. उसने क्या कहा? हमारे 10 सीटें आई है, कम से कम हमको 10 सेकंड तो दीजिए. मेरा यही कहना है, भैया 10 लोगों को साथ रखना. ऑपरेशन लोटस कहीं पे भी हो सकता है. अगली बार 10 ऐसा ना हो कि एक आदमी बच जाए और आपको 1 सेकंड मिले.
नहीं डॉक्टर उदय, आप भी, सुसी बहन भी सुजाता जी के पीछे पड़ गए हैं saying that you know she should speak about her own party. अरे भाई, she is the spokesperson of the Congress party. It's her job to come on debate shows and speak about the alliance, the Mahayuti alliance. आप लोग फालतू में उनको टारगेट कर रहे हैं, but सुजाता जी wants to say something.
About the Congress party.
हाँ, सुजाता जी बोलिए, and then I'll come to Ali Daruwala.
So amusing that with the kind of mandate that the Mahayuti has got, no matter how many questions we are raising, it is so amazing that they don't want us to question. That is the hallmark of any BJP government. So I am not surprised. I have no problem. And Mr. Senior Journalist should know that today the topic is about the Mahayuti taking oath and the problems that they are facing. And as a responsible opposition, it is our duty to question them, to ensure that the people of Maharashtra do not suffer. So Mr. Uday should remember that before he questions me about my party being in order, don't worry about it. That's what we are working at. When we fail, we rise, and that is why we have the guts to stand and participate in these discussions.
Susi Ben, ठीक है. Now, Susi Ben, before I wrap this debate, and I have to wrap this debate because there's big breaking news coming in next. The fact is that Devendra Fadnavis has dropped a big hint. He was holding a press conference. He's dropped a big hint. He's saying that the Home Ministry needs to be led with conviction. He's dropping a hint that the Home Ministry is not going anywhere. It is going to be staying with him. आप तो अभी justice की बात कर रहे थे. By the looks of it, justice is not being done to Eknath Shinde.
The conviction is also with the Chief Minister.
देखिए जरा on screen.
Let me complete the statement. The conviction can also be with our Eknath Shinde, our Pramukh Neta. So conviction, yes, it's a statement. It has to be done with conviction. No one denies it. Let me tell you this once again to everyone's. I mean, the question should be tested once and for all. Whether it is home, whether it is revenue, whether it is power, whether it is agriculture, it will be mutually decided. Eknath Raoji is not sulking. He's just he was sick for 4 days, for heaven's sake. He was on saline. He worked 10 sabhas every day for 28 days, guys. He worked hard. He got the Mahayuti with a thundering mandate. It was led under his captaincy, but he has a large heart. Three of them together decided, of course, PM Sir Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah ji.
Okay,
The
okay,
final
Susi
decision
Ben.
was with them.
Huh.
But stellar performance.
Okay.
Eknath Rao ji cannot be
Okay.
denied.
Of course, I mean, no one can be denied. But the BJP will say हमारा strike rate 90% था, 132 seats है हमारी, आप दोनों का 70% था, तो we are big boss in this alliance, and we are not going to give away home, and that is what seems to be happening. चलिए, we'll see what happens. As a citizen, I will say this, Susi Ben. As a citizen, I'll say this, that I hope that Maharashtra has a stable government for 5 years, because stable governments are good for the country and are good for the citizens. That's all I'll say. We'll see how things pan out. We'll see how things pan out.
Let me tell you that.
Absolutely. We all hope for that. Ali Daruwala, thank you very much. Susi Ben, thank you very much for joining us. Anish, I gave you more than 10 seconds to speak. Thank you very much. Sujata ji, good to have you on the show. And Dr. Uday, always good to have you on the show. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen,